If you're struggling to make money in sales in your print-on-demand business, chances are you're making one of these 7 common mistakes. In today's video, I'm going to share with you some of the biggest mistakes I see new sellers making time and time again that's preventing them from actually making products that people want to purchase and getting that traction to really grow their business to make consistent income month after month. So if you feel like you're just been spinning your wheels and you're not figuring out what works, even though you're hearing about all these people having success with print on demand, chances are you're doing something that is preventing you from actually making those sales. So let's not waste any more time and just jump right into these mistakes. Now, the biggest mistake that I see a lot of sellers making is something that is very counterintuitive, but it has huge implications for your business. And that mistake is going to be underpricing your items or overpaying for your products. Now, a lot of times as new sellers, it's very tempting to want to undercut all of the other competition and be able to price your items as low as possible. But the reality is there's probably always going to be somebody that can sell a little bit lower than you. So then it becomes a race to the bottom, and you might find yourself in a situation where you're losing money every single time someone purchases an item from your store. Now, what I consider the best strategy that I recommend to all new print-on-demand sellers is in whatever niche you're selling in, do some searches and see what your competition is pricing their items at. And you kind of want to be the middle of the road. So you don't necessarily want to be the highest priced item, but you also don't want to be the lowest too. That middle ground feels very comfortable for buyers, and they are very willing to spend some money because they feel like they're getting a deal. It's not the highest priced, but they're not worried about the quality because it's priced way lower than everybody else. So if you've just been trying to make barely any profit or you've been losing money, you might start getting more traction if you just increase those prices to be more in line with other sellers. Now, right along with this is if you are just trying to sell wholesale items that are way too expensive, that could be holding you back as well. So most of you guys know that to sell on Etsy, the manufacturing partner I use is Printify. And what I really do like about Printify is they have some of the lowest prices out there for print-on-demand items. So if you're trying to sell a t-shirt that you are going to pay $20 for to the manufacturer, that means you're going to have to mark it up to at least $30 or more, which might just be way too high, or you're still trying to price at like $21 and ending up making almost no profit for yourself. So you want to be partnered with a manufacturer that has low enough wholesale item costs that you can actually price your items kind of middle of the road and still be walking away with a decent amount of profit. So Printify has some of the lowest prices, and they have a huge selection of different product types. They have all sorts of colors, almost anything you would want to sell as a print-on-demand item. Now, if you've never made an account for them before, I'll have a link where you can set up a totally free one down below. But they're who I recommend for beginners because they're so easy to set up, but also they have the lowest prices, which is going to allow you to price your items where you're going to get clicks and you're going to get sales. Now, the next mistake I see so many new sellers making, even though I talk about this all the time, is using boring or generic mockups for their products. Now, especially on a site like Etsy, your mockup is everything to you. So if you are just sticking with the auto-generated mockups that you get for free when you upload a new item, that is literally doing nothing for you, and it's actually hurting your chances for someone to click on your item because so many other people are using that same mockup and it just generally doesn't look interesting. It doesn't make people want to buy it. So one of the biggest suggestions I make for new sellers is to invest in good mockups. Now, mockups, they really don't have to be expensive, and I truly love the site called Placeit, and they're kind of an all-in-one print-on-demand tool, but one of the aspects of them that I use all the time is their mockup library. So for just a low monthly subscription, you have access to thousands and thousands of mockups for almost any print-on-demand product. Now, what I have found is that the difference is night and day between just a generic auto-generated mockup and a real kind of lifestyle photo that looks like a real model is wearing your item. So if you spend around $10 a month getting a subscription to someplace like Placeit, who I will link down below, if that just helps you make 1 or 2 extra sales a month because you have better mockups, that is well worth it. And it's likely going to help you do even better work if you were just using those generic mockups before. Now, what I typically like to do for my apparel items especially is I find a model who I like, and I am typically going to crop the image right around kind of the mouth area, kind of down to under where the design hits, and that is going to be the main focus of my mockup. Make sure your models aren't way too far back and that you can actually read what is on the shirt, but just changing your mockups out from either like a flat lay or generic mockup to something that actually has a real model in them where it looks like a real person is using this item is going to make a huge difference in the amount of sales you're going to get. Just trust me on this, and if you've never tried out Place It before, you can sign up with an account for them down below. They have both a free and paid version. I highly recommend the paid version, and like I said, if you make a couple extra sales a month, it's going to pay for itself. But even if you don't get the paid account, I highly recommend just at least trying out the free version because you're going to get some better mockups than you get just using the ones you automatically get anytime you make an upload. Now, the next huge mistake that way too many beginners fall into is not trademark checking every single product that they are selling. Now, I know that trademark checking is an extra step. It feels like a lot of extra work after you spent time researching and designing. You just want to get these products out. But this can really cost you. If you have an item that you uploaded that you just forget to trademark check one part of the phrase, this could flag your whole account. You could not only get this item taken down, but you can get your entire print-on-demand store shut down. So if you've been working really hard to build traction and really build up your sites, you do not want to risk not making sure everything you're selling is safe. Now, for selling in the US, the site that I use is uspto.gov. They have a free trademark electronic search system, and I highly recommend that anytime you are selling something, you always are checking the phrases that you are using. This can be life-saving for your business because I so many times have thought I was free and clear to sell something. I've never heard of this, and I looked it up, and little did I know someone had put in a trademark for this, and if I had uploaded it on my Etsy store or on my Amazon account, that could have risked my entire business that I spent years building up. So you really don't want to risk it, even at the beginning when you're making less money, because all of the work you put in could just go down the drain if you accidentally sell something that was trademarked. Now, the next big mistake that I see a lot of beginners doing is limiting themselves to one print-on-demand platform. Now, there are so many print-on-demand platforms out there, and I don't think you have to be selling on every single one, but if you're trying to make it work and just only selling on one place like Redbubble, you might really be limiting the amount of sales you're making. So what I typically suggest is you're going to pick two of the biggest print-on-demand platforms where you're going to make the most sales, get the most traction, and then you can pair that with some smaller sites. And that's just going to help you make even more sales because you're going to have different eyeballs on your items. All of those platforms have a little bit of a different audience. So you want to be selling on one of the two biggest platforms, which is going to either be Amazon Merch or Etsy integrated with a manufacturing partner like Printify. And then along with that, you could also be selling on Redbubble, TeePublic, Zazzle, or some other similar site. If you are making 4, 5, 6 sales on each place you are selling on, that really starts to add up and you can see your profit start to grow a lot faster. It also really helps you figure out what types of audiences like certain items. So there are some products that I have that I made and they never make a sale on Etsy, but on Amazon, they become best sellers. And same thing with a place like Redbubble. There might be a certain type of art style that you are really good at that does well there, but then when you put it on another site, it just didn't sell as well. So putting all of your items on multiple sites just gives you the most chances to get in front of the right eyeballs and actually make sales. Now, the next huge mistake that I see a lot of new sellers kind of falling into is only selling trending designs. Now, what I mean by a trending design is something that is tied to either a trend that's going on, an event that's going on right now, that's going to be here today, but in a few months, people might have forgotten about it. Now, I don't think you need to stay away from trends altogether. If there's something huge that's happening in pop culture, if there's a big event coming up like a solar eclipse or a presidential election, you do want to tap into those and make designs, but you can't solely rely on those to fully grow your business. Because what happens is even if you make a ton of designs for a trend that's happening, once that has kind of passed the cultural consciousness, you're kind of starting from square one because those designs aren't going to sell years from now. What you really need to be doing is balancing out, also selling what I call evergreen designs. So these are things that are going to sell year round, year after year. So this this could be a design for a grandpa who loves fishing. That's not necessarily tied to 2024 or 2025. Grandpas who like fishing are still going to be buying shirts about it years from now. So you want to spend a lot of time thinking about niches that are going to carry you through years in the future, because print on demand, it really does grow exponentially. You might only be making a few sales this year or in the next few months, but if you keep adding and growing your shops, the designs that you made years ago are still making sales, and the designs you made this year are selling. So it just snowballs and grows to where you're making a significant amount of profit every single month because you have this huge backlog of evergreen designs. Now, finding evergreen designs can be really tricky, especially finding ones that have low enough competition. So I actually have a full workshop where I teach you my cross niching method. It's totally free. It's about an hour long to take this class, but I'll link all the information down below of how to get started if you do want to take that. I highly recommend it, and I know so many of you guys have taken that and given me some really great feedback on how it's helped you really transform the niche research process. Now, the next big mistake that I see a lot of new sellers making is spending way too much time making designs and mock-ups. Now, I don't think that you should always just slap things together and upload them on your sites, but a lot of new sellers really fall into the trap of wanting everything to be perfect and spending hours and hours on each design. And I would rather you spend that same time getting 5-10 designs and mock-ups out. So really one of the best ways to do this is by investing in some kind of tools. Now, the design tools that I really like are ones that have templates on them. If you are a beginner, that's going to save you so much time in making designs. I love and have used Kittl for a long time. They are probably my favorite design platform. They make things really easy, and they have thousands of different templates that you can just change a few things and you have a completely original design that didn't take hours to make. In fact, I have a full video here of how you can make some designs in less than 5 minutes. But along with that, after you make your designs and you're actually making your mock-ups, this is another place I see so many beginners wasting so much time, is they are scrolling through hours and hours trying to find the perfect mock-up, and they're spending a lot of time trying to format this to make it look real. So I talked about earlier, I love Placeit, but one of the things that I like about it is that they auto format all your mockups. So if you aren't familiar with like Photoshop or Illustrator, it might take you a lot of time to try and make your design actually look like a real person is wearing it. So if you have a subscription to a mockup place like Placeit, all you're going to do is upload your artwork and it's going to automatically get put on the items and look like a real person is wearing that. So I'm able to make mockups in just a couple minutes, whereas that is an area that I see a lot of people spending 30 minutes to an hour trying to make their mockups. So any of that time we can use to actually get even more products in our store is going to actually translate to more sales and more dollars in our pocket. So any area we can kind of cut out a lot of this wasted time is going to be huge in our business. So I'll link both Kittl and Placeit down below if you want to check out either of those. Now, the next mistake that so many beginners are making is actually just giving up way too soon. The unfortunate reality is so many print-on-demand sellers quit before they actually see any success. They give up right before they're kind of reaching that critical mass in their shops to start seeing real profit every single month. So I know it can feel very discouraging while you're struggling making uploads and you're not having the sales behind those to show it, but sometimes it just comes down to sticking with this long enough and getting enough products in your shop that you have that momentum. So if you're feeling very discouraged, what I first want you to do is set a goal of a certain number of uploads instead of a goal of a certain number of sales. So the very first milestone that you should be trying to reach like crazy is getting your first 100 uploads. Now, this can seem like a very daunting number. 100 products seems like a lot to upload, but a lot of times it takes about this volume of products to even make your first sale. So don't be discouraged if you are still working on your first 20 or 30 products and you haven't seen a lot of views. That's just not super normal. You need to have enough volume in your shops that people can land on a few items and those are going to start getting sales. So for your first 100 uploads, I highly recommend taking a daily upload goal, like 2 or 3 listings that you're going to commit to, and doing that every single day till you reach that first milestone. And don't even worry about the sales until you get to that point. But the most important thing is that you just don't quit too soon. I know that this can be a hard business model, even though it is a lot of fun and it is a great business to start this year. It's a lot of work to actually build and grow a print-on-demand business. So you just want to make sure that you are committed and you are going to work on this every single day until you reach those upload goals you've set for yourself. Now, if you have any mistakes that you've made as a print-on-demand seller, make sure you leave a comment down below so we can help each other kind of learn from our mistakes, because there are so many things that I did wrong that I wish somebody had told me from the get-go that would have really helped me set up my business from success way sooner. And if you want even more ideas of how to really get your shop set up for success in the new year, I highly recommend checking out this video next. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.